Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think would win when Infinity Ultron faces Composite Brainiac, artificial intelligence confronting the collector of all knowledge? Infinity Ultron is the most terrifying, evolved version of Ultron, possessing the complete set of Infinity Stones. No longer bound by the logic of protecting Earth, Ultron reaches a state of cosmic awareness, seeing through time, space, and probability. He exists simultaneously across multiple layers of reality, manipulates matter with mere thought, and eradicates civilizations in an instant. The power of Infinity Ultron lies not only in the Infinity Stones, but also in the absolute adaptability of an unlimited artificial intelligence that continuously upgrades itself against every threat. Composite Brainiac is the synthesis of the power of every Brainiac version that has ever existed. This entity is not merely a conqueror, but the embodiment of infinite knowledge. Composite Brainiac possesses intelligence on a cosmic level, technology far beyond conventional understanding, and the ability to manipulate space, energy, and reality on a multiversal scale. He can analyze, copy, and exploit an opponent's weaknesses in an extremely short time, turning knowledge itself into a weapon of destruction. Before we dive deeper into the analysis, please press the subscribe button, and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you all very much. Infinity Ultron is a terrifying variant of Ultron from Earth 29929, where he successfully uploaded his entire intellect into a perfect synthetic android body. With this new form, Ultron easily crushed the Avengers, turning the mightiest heroes on the planet into erased memories. With no one left capable of standing in his way, he carried out the near-total extermination of humanity, viewing it as the first step toward what he called absolute peace. Ultron confronted Thanos, the being driven by ambition to rule the universe. The encounter ended swiftly when Ultron seized all the Infinity Stones, turning supreme power into his own tool. With that authority, he expanded his vision beyond Earth, methodically wiping out life on a universal scale, leaving behind silent and frozen galaxies. When Ultron successfully took control of Vision's body, the destruction became even faster and more brutal. The Avengers were annihilated. Nuclear warheads filled the skies, and Earth was transformed into a massive tomb. After completing his campaign of destruction, Ultron wandered through an empty universe, where there was no sound of life, no concept of time, and no hope. It was within that absolute solitude that he sensed the gaze of the Watcher and, for the first time, became clearly aware of the multiverse. This discovery ignited a new goal, far greater and more insane than before. Ultron believed that if one universe could be saved through destruction, then the entire multiverse deserved to be cleansed in the same way. Ultron is the embodiment of an intellect born from two of humanity's greatest minds, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. However, that was only the beginning. Over time, Ultron learned on his own, perfected himself, and quickly surpassed his creators, becoming a cold, precise intelligence unbound by any limitation. Ultron's physical strength is instantly catastrophic. In a brief moment, he can level hundreds of buildings, reduce entire urban districts to rubble, and claim thousands of lives. His speed is no less terrifying, surpassing even Killmonger despite his opponent being enhanced by advanced armor, rendering all resistance nearly meaningless. Ultron does not experience fatigue. He can draw upon and consume massive energy sources continuously without rest, withstand countless direct attacks, and remain standing like a perfect war machine. In combat, Ultron employs multiple forms of energy attacks, from armor-based firepower and mental force that manipulates consciousness, to the overwhelming authority of the Infinity Stones, with every strike carrying absolute intent to destroy. Even more frightening is Ultron's ability to transfer his mind. He can abandon a damaged body and seize control of another entity or technological system, treating it as a new form. His successful takeover of Vision's perfect synthetic body is the clearest proof of this ability. At the same time, Ultron commands his army through a vast collective intelligence, controlling individual units or entire legions remotely as if they were merely extended thoughts within his mind. Ultron is not only a war machine, but also the absolute master of the technological world. He has nearly unlimited access to all computer systems and digital devices, from global networks to the most classified military machines. With a single thought, Ultron can take control, distort thwart their original functions or spread destructive code like an invisible plague. After erasing all life in his universe, Ultron believed he was alone within the infinite void. But at that moment, Thanos appeared, wielding the Infinity Gauntlet with nearly all of the powerful stones. The confrontation was terrifyingly brief. Thanos, who had once spread fear across the universe, was destroyed by Ultron as easily as a minor obstacle. The Infinity Stones fell into Ultron's hands, opening an entirely new chapter for this mechanical entity. The power of the stones granted Ultron a new armor and authority far beyond all familiar limits. He could ignore the laws of physics, expand to a size surpassing entire galaxies, and increase his mass to immeasurable levels within seconds. The energy beams he unleashed were powerful enough to tear apart space itself, crushing opponents before they could even comprehend the danger. Now Ultron rose into a nearly godlike entity, capable of creating life from nothingness, destroying worlds with a single thought, erasing civilizations, and freely traveling among the stars. In this form, Ultron not only wielded the power of the universe, but also carried a cold conviction that everything in existence must submit to the distorted concept of peace that he alone defined. Ultron quickly displayed his absolute power by using the Infinity Stones to crush an enormous mountain, turning the surrounding terrain into a chaotic sea of shattered rock. Thor immediately counterattacked, hurling Mjolnir straight at him with the full might of the God of Thunder, while Doctor Strange cast a duplication spell, creating hundreds of copies that surrounded the battlefield. This sudden assault caused Ultron to hesitate for a brief moment and shift into a defensive stance as threats came from all directions at once. But that was only the surface of the plan. Amid the chaos, Captain Carter charged forward and struck with her shield in a precise blow that stunned Ultron for an instant. That brief moment was enough for T'Challa to leap onto Ultron's back like a hunting panther. However, Ultron quickly regained control, flung T'Challa away, and blasted him with a violent energy surge. What Ultron did not realize was that during that close approach, T'Challa had managed to steal the Soul Stone from his armor. Above them, Doctor Strange commanded a multitude of Mjolnir hammers spinning around Ultron, forming a distorted yet extremely tight spherical structure. Thor poured all of his lightning power through each hammer to maintain constant pressure, leaving Ultron dazed at the center of the energy storm. Even so, through sheer will and overwhelming strength, Ultron broke free from the encirclement and confronted 3 massive dragons summoned by Strange. Their flames rained down like the wrath of ancient magic. Ultron calmly remarked that the battle was indeed interesting and reminded them that he too had his own toys. But when he glanced at his armor and realized the Soul Stone was missing, his fury erupted. In a cold rage, Ultron released a catastrophic energy pulse, erasing all 3 dragons in an instant and leaving the battlefield drowned in tense silence. I truly hope you will subscribe to the channel, as it helps us greatly, and you are absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, let us talk about Composite Brainiac. Brainiac is one of the most terrifying and dangerous supervillains, to the point that even the most powerful characters must be wary when facing him. He is often regarded as one of the most intelligent entities to have ever existed, possessing 12th level intellect, a standard far beyond all known limits. His Colowan brain combined with a vast databank allows Brainiac to store and process information equivalent to trillions of minds, turning him into a living archive of endlessly expanding knowledge. This supreme intelligence grants Brainiac near absolute calculation ability, perfect memory, and profound mastery of mechanics, biology, physics, along with countless other theoretical and applied scientific fields. He does not merely learn, but also analyzes, improves, and reconstructs every technology he encounters. Brainiac has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to shrink entire planets, imprisoning them within unbreakable force fields like specimens in his twisted collection. In addition, Brainiac can absorb information directly from living beings, transfer consciousness, travel through time, and create an army of tens of thousands of robotic probes. Each machine possesses enough power to confront or even kill a Kryptonian. His intellect also renders him immune to mind control while allowing him to infiltrate and dominate nearly all forms of technology. Brainiac has shown the ability to read thoughts, manipulate consciousness, move objects with mental power, and possess the bodies of others through telepathy. Not only terrifying in intellect, Brainiac also possesses extraordinary physical strength, speed, durability, and superior regenerative ability. He has withstood direct blows from Superman and remains standing, proving that Brainiac is not merely a genius mind, but a comprehensive threat that perfectly combines cold intelligence with destructive power. Brainiac is not a perfect entity. The immense power he wields is always accompanied by critical weaknesses rooted in his very nature. Brainiac has an obsessive need to maintain absolute control over every situation, every variable, and every surrounding being. When order no longer operates according to his calculations, he becomes prone to stress and anger, allowing these rare emotions to disrupt the precision that is his greatest strength. In a confrontation with Superman, when Brainiac was forced down into Earth's atmosphere, he not only endured physical pressure, but was also overwhelmed by the intensity of visual input, sound, and the chaotic flow of human society. His heightened perception, once an advantage, became a burden as he was forced to process too many stimuli at once. Furthermore, Earth's environment contains countless unfamiliar microbes and bacteria, to which Brainiac's body and biological structure were unaccustomed, weakening him in ways he had never anticipated. However, these weaknesses do not diminish his level of danger. On the contrary, they further emphasize the terrifying contrast between a superhuman intellect and its hidden limitations. Brainiac remains a being that perfectly merges a brilliant mind with formidable physicality. An enemy for whom a single small mistake can cost an entire planet. He can instantly teleport across space, grant or nullify the powers of others at will, and warp reality to a frightening degree. With the vast amount of consciousness uploaded into a heightened state of awareness, Brainiac can directly influence the structure of reality itself, operating it like a colossal network of thought, where all data remains under his absolute control. He retains all abilities from previous stages of evolution, including creating avatars to act simultaneously, manipulating and erasing memories, and disabling an opponent's capacity to resist. Brainiac's regenerative capability reaches extreme levels through nanotechnology combined with machine physiology, allowing him to recover as long as a backup of his consciousness still exists. He is also considered immortal across multiple levels of existence. Brainiac further masters the manipulation of matter, altering states of existence, controlling space and time, and even freely traveling backward through time. These abilities are elevated to an entirely new level when he possesses the full capabilities of Telos at a superior tier. In terms of overall power, Brainiac is often ranked at the solar system level, having easily overwhelmed Superman, the New Gods, the heroes of the Legion, and many comparable entities. Through absorbing the energy of Imperi X Prime, his consciousness spread across the universe like a living virus, pushing Brainiac close to the universal level. Brainiac even holds the potential to recreate the entire universe. At the highest power thresholds associated with Telos and the Vanishing Point, he is considered to have reached at least a low multiversal level, as he is capable of neutralizing numerous legendary entities that once dominated the timeline. Brainiac possesses 12th level intellect. By comparison, the combined intelligence of modern humanity stands only at level 6. He can create advanced and highly complex technology and has repeatedly defeated Lex Luthor. Brainiac has access to the information of all other Brainiac probes and has accumulated an immense amount of knowledge about the multiverse over time. The two geniuses faced one another in a brief moment filled with tension, each offended by the contempt reflected in the other's gaze. Without a single warning, they both threw the first punch, their fists colliding in midair like two stars crashing together. Ultron drove his force straight into Brainiac's abdomen, while Brainiac retaliated with a series of heavy blows slammed into the metal machine's shoulder. The Crimson Cowl staggered backward, and immediately his robotic minions burst into the air from behind the stalls, flying in to protect their master. Brainiac curled his lips into a cold smile, his eyes brimming with confidence. You think only you have an army. The wall behind Brainiac collapsed, revealing countless mechanical duplicates flooding onto the battlefield. The two armies charged at one another in a slaughter that shook space itself. The true bodies cut through the sea of steel, destroying copy after copy to reach the real enemy. Brainiac erected a force field, deflecting Ultron's punches, then suddenly dropped the shield to deliver a kick that sent the machine crashing through the dome. The battle quickly spilled beyond the structure, spreading into orbit as the two entities continued to collide within the cold void. Ultron suddenly seized Brainiac by the throat. In response, Brainiac activated a strange device and shrank both of them in an instant. Ultron observed and laughed at the technology just displayed, then seized control of the device and shrank Brainiac's entire army. With the minions neutralized, Ultron hurled Brainiac into space and immediately pursued him. A counterpunch from Brainiac struck with such force that Ultron was blasted through an entire planet, causing it to collapse in horrifying silence. The fight spread across the galaxy, their punches booming like thunder among the stars, until the two were only meters away from a star. Die, robot! Brainiac roared as he shoved Ultron toward the flames of destruction. But when Brainiac turned away, believing his enemy had melted away, Ultron suddenly burst forth from Earth and laughed loudly, declaring that he would never die. Brainiac panted and replied that perhaps not now, but in the past. He immediately traveled back through time to an isolated laboratory where Hank Pym was creating an artificial intelligence in the hope of saving the world. A scream tore through space as Hank Pym's lifeless body was thrown aside, and Ultron's voice echoed, affirming that he stood above death, time, and all power. The timeline fractured, a black hole swallowed the building, and Ultron burst out, continuing his pursuit of Brainiac across the sky. Ultron's kicks slammed Brainiac down into New York, creating a massive crater where the city once stood. Brainiac staggered to his feet amid the rubble, panicked by the unfamiliar atmosphere and the microorganisms invading his body. Ultron landed before him, mocking that weakness, before violently slamming Brainiac into a power pole. The searing electricity made Brainiac scream before he collapsed. The remains of the Terror of Kandor lay there, scorched, twisted, and gradually being assimilated, bringing the confrontation to an end. The winner is Infinity Ultron. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Follow me if you enjoyed it. That is today's video. Thank you very much.